want some sauce?
Scene 1, Apple, take 1.
What's up everybody, how's it going out there? In this video I'm going to be showing you how to make homemade hot chocolate.
Touch me, kiss me baby, I love the way you touch me darling.
A friend of mine has been drinking hot chocolate, and the instructions for the hot chocolate he's been drinking has been telling him to boil milk and stuff like that. And you don't really want to boil milk. You don't want to boil milk. Now, there's an interesting thing that happens. When you have whole milk, or you have milk that's got a lot of fat in it, maybe like half and half or cream or whatever, you can actually bring it to a higher temperature and boil it, and it won't curdle. Okay, generally it takes a little bit longer for it to curdle when it has a high fat content. But when you end up having like 2% milk or low fat milk or 1% or whatever like that, it has a tendency to curdle a lot faster. But we don't need to bring the temperature that high at all in order to make a good hot chocolate. You don't need to do that. Okay, so first things first, we are going to be grabbing a measuring cup. 1 cup of milk, preferably one that's got a high fat content. That way it just simply boils better. For every cup, 1 tablespoon. For every tablespoon of cocoa, 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. So it's a 1-to-2 ratio. And this, of course, you can change depending on your tastes. And the temperature, we want medium-low, because we do not want this to scald or burn or boil or anything like that, okay? We do not want the temperature of this to go beyond about 165, maybe 160. Now milk will start doing all sorts of weird, nasty things right around 180 degrees. So I'm going to take this and kind of tilt it, and then put my thermometer in there to see what we got. I'm already at 156 degrees. And you see it didn't really take long for that to happen. So at this point, we're good. Fire's off. I don't want to take it past this temperature right here. And you see everything is melted. And man, that is chocolatey. So at this point, we can go ahead and put this inside our mug. So I just gave this a rinse because all we're doing is making hot chocolate anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Once again, we're going to end up putting a cup of milk in this. This is like going to be the most milk I've drank in a long time, by the way. Okay. Now when you're using the special dark, it doesn't have as much sugar as like a regular milk chocolate. So if you're someone that likes sweetness, you might have to add another tablespoon of sugar to that. Okay, still medium-low heat, same rule applies. We don't want to boil it. And you can break these pieces off. Now I like my stuff a little bit more chocolatey, so I'm going to end up putting 6 in here, but you can add as much as you want. Same thing, 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. And I'm purposely putting the chocolate right around where the flame is. And when you have a milk that has a lot of fat, it's going to emulsify the chocolate much better because the chocolate is fat-based. If you have a very, very watery milk, you're going to end up having a little bit more problems. It's not going to really want to emulsify because fat and water don't mix real well. Too many people boil their drinks, man. They boil their hot chocolate. See, I see steam. Everything's melted. This is done. Okay, I don't have to boil this. I don't have to see bubbles. I don't have to do any of that. This right here is finished. Now with both, if you want this to have a little something extra, you can put just a touch of vanilla extract in here. Just a touch. When I say just a touch, less than 1/8 of a teaspoon. Little goes a long way. Okay, and you can still put your marshmallows, or you can put your whipped cream or whatever. Now, do both of these taste the same? The answer is no, they do not. This one right here, by far, it'll knock your socks off. This is the amount of chocolate flavor that's in this. Good God.
Oh, well, all right then. That's good, OJ. Yeah, that hurt?
It tastes like there's 2 packages of Swiss Miss. This is how strong this one is. But you saw that I ended up using 6 pieces of chocolate. And I think that for most people, 4 would be enough. But if you're going to go chocolate, man, and then this is the way to go. Now, obviously you can use this one, but it's not my favorite. My favorite is basically using this stuff right here, okay? And buying one of these, it's enough for 4 cups of hot chocolate. And you can add even more than 1 cup. You can also thin this out. You can make it where it's, instead of it's just like 1 cup of milk, maybe do like 1 1/4. Thin it out a little bit. You can do that. It's up to you. You can add more sugar afterwards. You can start with maybe like a tablespoon to see if that has enough. And then if not, just add the other tablespoon after you're done mixing it, because this is still warm enough that the sugar will dissolve. That is super, super chocolatey. I mean, it's ridiculous. And it doesn't taste grainy or anything like that that you might suspect when you see the little particulates. Not at all. This is so thick. This hot chocolate is really thick. And I don't feel like I'm drinking garbage. In other words, I don't feel like I'm drinking like artificial chocolate or something. The way I look at it is, if you have to mix water with your chocolate, something is definitely not right. Because chocolate is a oil base. It's a fat base. Okay? You need to mix something that's got fat with it. But if you end up trying this, you won't end up buying any of that Swiss Miss stuff anymore. And then also, this is something really good you can add to your coffee, right? So if you're into the mocha lattes and all that other weird stuff you get at Starbucks that they charge you too much for, put some of this in your coffee and you're gonna be like, wow, this is so much better than that. And it, like I said, does not taste chalky. Out of the 2 methods as discussed earlier, like I had said before, the chocolate bar method is my favorite method. I prefer the special dark flavor, but there's nothing wrong with using the regular milk chocolate. But experiment with it, guys, and you're going to see I'm right. But anyway, until next time, I will talk to you later.
Thank you, buddy!